Wars. You know what I realized that I did not know this morning? Plumber? Christopher Plummer. The woman who is the main female character in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Kiera Knightley?
Uh-huh. She's in Star Wars. She was in... They already know this. I just saw it this morning. I flipped out. I couldn't believe it. She was in the Phantom Menace. Guess who she was? You'll never guess it. She was Padme's body double. The one that wears the stuff so that Padme can look like a regular servant. That's her. She was 12 years old. Yeah. I did not know that. That was all new to me this morning. It was just because some story came up about she doesn't remember what it was like to be in a Star Wars film. Because she was 12. And all she remembers is like having a headache from wearing the headdress. That's all she remembers. She doesn't remember anything else she says. But she was 12. And by the time when she goes and does Pirates of the Caribbean, she was 17.
Really?
See? She was young. Yes, but when you look at like their pictures, like no makeup, just them next to each other, they look like twins.
Really?
Yeah. They said that they looked so much alike that when they were in costume, their mothers couldn't tell them apart.
Really? Wow.
See, this is why I need the animation with the boom, man. This is why because the one I put in for last week, wow, very funny, not very good. So you need to make one.
I don't know why I need to make it. Why do I have to find it? You've got the film stock, man.
No, find a good one. Yeah, but I'm not film stock. I don't think that's a good nuclear explosion.
They have explosions. They've
But
got
I need one
explosions.
I need one for
Like your memoji thing where the head's like...
Yeah, but that's like all animated.
Yeah,
all
that's
animated. We need one that's gonna go on top of us. So when we blow your mind, it can boom.
Face crack.
Your face is cracked and on the floor. What else?
I think you gotta have mommy.
Check out Knives Out.
You have to have mommy watch the Spider-Verse. We keep saying it. It's gotta happen.
I think this. Let me check. There's an actress that's in Knives Out, and I believe she was in another film that I saw with a little boy that saw dead people. You know what I'm talking about?
Sixth Sense.
And I want to say she was the mother, but...
Couldn't help you.
This is riveting radio.
Don't remember what she looks like in Sixth Sense.
I'm right!
Yes.
Yes, it is her. Toni Collette. She was the mother, but she looks very different in the film. But she was the mother. But if you look at her now, she doesn't look like that woman. But she kind of does. And that's why I was like, is that her? Interesting. All right. What else we got?
I've seen very few M. Night Shyamalan movies.
And man, you
What?
gotta get you've seen quite a few.
You've seen The Sixth Sense. You've seen The Ring.
I have not seen
The
The Ring.
Ring is
Not
not
The
M.
Ring.
Night Shyamalan.
Signs. Is
Sixth
that
Sense.
it?
Yeah, you've seen Signs.
Signs. The Village. Avatar.
Lady in the Water. Have you seen that?
No, but he's seen the Bruce Willis superhero movie.
Oh yes, Unbreakable. I forgot about Unbreakable.
Did you see the next one?
Is Split?
Yes.
Oh, then I've seen 6.
And then you didn't see the one where they all come together.
No, I haven't seen the one that.
Dude, he doesn't have that many
haven't
films.
seen- I haven't seen
I think
the
you've seen like the majority.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like M. Night
I
Shyamalan.
forgot that.
He's got something on Apple going on right now.
Really?
There's something. It's a
On
TV
Apple
show.
TV?
Yep.
Let me go to Apple TV.
He's got it's a He's got a thing on there right now.
It's funny because when I went to change our internet over to the new place, they tried to offer a package that had some sort of movie watching service, and I think we have it. I think it just automatically.
Like Claro?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's music.
No,
Claro is
it's
music.
something like that. But I was like, we don't need it because and Netflix was included and blah blah. I'm like, we have all kinds of stuff already.
There it is. Servant. Servant is the thing that he's got on there now. Did you go to Apple TV? You know what? IMDb people. Just use IMDb. You can put in the person's name. You can find out what they've done. You don't go to a service, start scrolling around for people.
Why not?
Because you're only going to get what's on that service. You're not going to get them and their stuff.
IMDb.
Servant is the thing that's on the Apple TV right now. And you got to watch Glass.
Yeah, I haven't seen Glass.
Yeah, here it is, right here.
Yeah, you were a little late.
Yeah.
And he did After Earth.
I blocked that out.
Did you watch The Happening?
I haven't seen that. So
Oh,
that's,
God.
So that I've seen the most of his
That's what I was saying. You've seen almost
That's
all.
like, what, 9 of his movies I've seen?
If you're talking about directed movies,
Yeah.
let's see. Praying with Anger, Wide Awake, The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, Village, Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender, After Earth, Wayward Pines, The Visit, Split, Glass, and Servant.
What is
It's just
Wide
TV.
Awake?
There you go.
9 of his things I've seen.
So,
The most of
you've
it.
seen the M. Night Shyamalan Big Bang.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I always block out the After Earth because I watched it first.
I don't know why. I like that movie.
I watched it the first time and I was like, that's alright. And then I watched it the second time because I kind of forgot. I was like, somehow it got worse.
You know what I think what's happening now is that Will Smith is getting a bad rap for almost anything he does.
Why?
Because for a long time, for at least 3 or 4 years, maybe a few more, maybe 5, he was literally the blockbuster of the summer was a Will Smith movie for years.
Why is he getting a bad rap?
I just think he can't live up to that anymore.
Oh,
He can't live up
he's
to
not
being
in
the
great
blockbuster.
movies
But
anymore.
I mean, even okay, you have Aladdin.
Did you like
He
Gemini
did.
Man?
He did in Aladdin exactly what he had done in Men in Black. He's in the movie. He does the song for a movie. You know, he plays him, right?
Essentially.
And
Him as a genie.
why is he different? Why is it bad? It's not bad. People focused on the CG work,
Yes.
not
the fact that
on
it
Will
was
Smith.
Yeah.
And-
he's like the best part of that.
But it's still not like bad.
No.
And if you go back and you watch all of his films, I mean, starting with Independence Day, every summer after that was Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Every 4th of July was Will Smith Day. For years. You know, it was like all you did was wait. And that's why I don't understand kind of why they did this. Why Bad Boys didn't come out in the summer. Because Bad Boys, the last one, came out in January. Which is kind of weird to me. Because I was expecting, I wasn't even looking for it. Because
Until July.
until July. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. This thing has already come out. Like it's already been released.
Wait, the Bad Boys for Life?
Yeah, it's already been released. January
Oh.
17th or whatever. It's already
I
been
didn't
out.
know it was already out.
Yeah.
I thought it was way later.
Mm-mm. And see stuff like that, but I think they're reacting negatively for some reason to him more than because, like I said, he was Mr. Blockbuster
I think he's just
by
I
himself.
think he's just in not great. Like the movies themselves aren't great. Like,
I don't, but
like
see,
Suicide Squad.
But see, when you say they're not great, are they entertaining? And see, Gemini Man is entertaining.
yeah,
I don't.
Gemini Man, I
But
like.
do you know how bad the reception was for Gemini Man?
Really?
You know how bad the reception was for the After Earth?
I mean,
See what I mean? These are entertaining
After Earth,
films.
I feel like it was because you're like, oh, it's Will Smith, and then it's Jaden, but then Will Smith is friggin' sitting in a chair for the most of the movie.
Who
For the entire
cares?
movie.
Who cares?
It's not Will Smith running around doing things.
When you watch the film, is it entertaining to you?
After
Because it
Earth,
was
no.
never supposed to be like when I think of Will Smith things. None of these things are. None of his films have ever, to me, been like super deep.
No.
The Pursuit of Happiness?
Haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Me neither.
okay, watch it.
You see what I mean? So when you talk about, and there's a couple other ones where he's playing, hopefully not himself, but outside of that, you don't go to The Fresh Prince for deepness.
Nope.
No.
You go for entertainment.
Yeah.
He is,
He's an entertainer.
exciting to watch, interesting to see, the situations that he's put in, that kind of stuff. It's never been like deep, What was the one where he's the gay guy? 6 Degrees of Separation, I think. It's okay, yeah.
I haven't seen.
Stretched.
I haven't seen Bright either.
And that one is terrible.
Really?
Oh god.
I haven't seen that.
But it is what it
Collateral
is.
Beauty is the one I'm thinking of.
I haven't seen that either.
I haven't seen that one either.
Or Spies in Disguise.
Please watch
That's it.
Collateral
I just downloaded that.
Please
Really?
watch Collateral Beauty.
Oh, I'm watching that today because I want to watch that.
But I mean, just understand that, and he's got the one about the concussions that just came out. I think it was a Netflix film. I think it's called Concussion, actually. But
Is it a movie?
yeah, I mean, it's just I don't go to a Will Smith film looking for Robert Redford or some deep performance and I'm looking for from this actor. No, man, I go to a Will Smith film to have action or have a good time and maybe some laughter and there might be a sentimental moment somewhere in there, but it's not going to be super deep. It wasn't, it's just no.
Like Hancock is mostly funny in action.
Yeah.
Hancock is hilarious.
There's like a couple sort of serious moments in there, like when he's dying, but
Yeah,
Other
but
than
that's
that-
kind of the formula for that Will Smith movie, and I think
Yeah.
people are sort of
Like I Am Legend.
like if you brought up Will Smith's early music, so him and Jazzy Jeff together, those early albums, and played them today, they sound just as cheesy
There we go.
as it's all kind of feel good party, nothing really all that deep. It's very surface.
Yeah.
But that's some people want that in a moment.
That's
like
how-
this
that's how
moment,
his
that's what I
solo
want to
stuff
listen to
sounded,
or I
though.
want to do, huh?
That's how his solo stuff sort of sounded. Just he was more mature in his delivery of the.
Yeah, but he's
Okay,
never
yeah.
been deep.
No, he's never super serious. He's not a
Right.
very serious person.
It was never that
He's not
way.
a serious person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was never supposed to be. It was supposed to be fun-loving. It was supposed to be party. It was supposed to be, So when I see him in films, I don't see him any different than what he was doing in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I see him as the moment and if you haven't seen this, go see it, where he meets his dad, and his dad is Ben Vereen, I think.
In what?
In The Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll start crying, people. It's awful.
Yeah.
But that's, it was kind of like what happened on those moments in sitcoms that have always been there, where yes, it was crazy, ridiculous situations, and they got in, they got out, and you may learn a lesson at the end, and blah blah blah. But then there was like the first time they had to put a disclaimer at the beginning of an episode was Gary Coleman.
Different strokes.
Yeah, Different Strokes. Where they had to say, because it was about...
Was it about drugs?
No, it was about the guy molesting them. And that, you know, that was a moment. And it wasn't everything's light and happy. It was heavy, and it was, you know, kids had to be...
Warned.
No, you had to have a discussion after that.
Yeah. My parents had a conversation, and
it was one of the first times it's ever happened in TV where they bring that, like they come in and they say, what you're about to see is disturbing. This is not, you know, and it wasn't the normal fare, but I think it was after some event in real life, they made that show. Something happened in the world of the United States. Something happened, and then they make that show, and you know.
If
and
you
I
want
think
to find the episode, it's called The Bicycle Man.
I think it also, because I want to say there was a reaction to that on PBS as well. PBS on their set of shows, so Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Sesame Street, they all kind of did something around, you know, inappropriate touching or adults and children or something. They all did something, because I believe inside of the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, inside of the documentary about his life, I think they addressed that as well.
Todd Bridges was actually molested, and that's why they did the episode. That's what it says here.
But I think there was something else, because I don't think that's not why they brought it up. That may have been why they did it on that show, but I don't think we knew that.
No, we didn't know.
Something else happened in the world.
Because he didn't talk about it until like 2017.
Exactly. So I don't remember what happened at that moment. But yeah, you know, when you're talking about certain actors, just like Daniel Craig inside of Knives Out, his character is almost comedic. You know, he's a southern sounding, like American Southern, Kentucky private eye, you know, and he sounds ridiculous because you know it's Daniel Craig and you know he's not Southern, and you know the seriousness of the roles that he's had, especially, you know, all in the Bond series, all gets wiped away. But for the most part, there are certain people that you expect a seriousness in acting. You know, even what we were talking about a few weeks ago, Kenneth Branagh. Even with Kenneth Branagh, you know that he's trying to be serious actor.
Right.
Even if he's playing a kind of a more ridiculous, funny person.
Right.
He's still trying to be serious actor, which that's not the vibe you ever got from Will Smith. I always saw him more like being himself, almost like Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
He wasn't overly trying. He was just being. And him being was enough to carry. Yeah, he could just be who he was. It's like what was that thing that Will Smith narrated?
One Strange Rock?
Yeah. Anybody else reading that stuff and being on screen does not make it feel the way that particular thing feels.
100% the draw to that show.
Yeah, but it's just the way in his delivery where it's, I'm not taking myself too seriously, but it's, you know, a voice that we're used to. It's not James Earl Jones.
No.
It doesn't feel heavy.
It's not Morgan Freeman.
Right.
It's not the guy from the Allstate commercials. I don't know his name, but he's in lots of stuff.
Ted, the black dude from the Allstate commercial.
Uh-huh. He's an actor. Like, he's a serious actor. I just don't know.
But isn't he now the voice of Meet the Press?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the president on 24.
Yep. But
Dennis Haysbert.
if you know me, folks,
Are you sure?
I think so. Because
you know I
of
don't know
Blackish.
names. I don't-
What?
Yeah,
Blackish.
because of Blackish. I know that. I think that's right.
They say Chris Evans, Chris Pines, Chris Hemsworth. I don't know which one is who.
Chris Pine.
Okay,
is
what
in
did you
Wonder
say his
Woman.
name was?
Dennis.
Haysbert.
I think you're close.
Am I saying it wrong?
Haysbert.
No.
Yes, and that's him.
I only know that because of Blackish.
Why? Because
Because Dre was trying to do the pitch to be Black Santa,
yeah.
and he was like, all the presidents have been white until him in 24.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's what he says.
I know, but that's not true.
Okay, it may not be true.
Morgan
but-
Freeman was president in
I know, but that's what Dre says in
the
in the
Asteroid
show.
Movie.
Armageddon.
The one that came out at the same time with Frodo. Oh God.
IMDb.
The other
Elijah
Asteroid
Wood.
movie. Elijah Wood, yeah.
You said Frodo. Because he knows I don't know the names of the people.
You said you were going down the Chris's.
Yeah, I don't know who is who.
Chris Pine is the dude in Wonder Woman,
Okay.
the main
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Chris Evans is Captain America.
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth is Thor.
Okay.
And Chris Pratt is Star-Lord.
See? Just tell me the person. Tell me the character. Like, I was watching. Okay, so I'm a big, huge nerd. We all know this. It's not a surprise.
Star-Lord is also in Jurassic World.
Yes, I know. But there's Jeopardy episodes on Netflix now. And 2 has never seen Jeopardy. So he wanted to watch it one night. And we were watching it, and of course I'm answering all the questions. But the other night I was watching it on my own, and I was actually surprised at how many of the movie-related questions I could answer. But if they would have asked me the actual actors' names, I wouldn't have known shit.
Deep Impact.
I've
That's
never,
the other Asteroid
I've
movie.
never seen that.
What?
Meh.
That's the other Asteroid.
I've discovered that
And Morgan
like,
Freeman was the president.
Keegan wants me to watch something with her. What is the? I'm not okay with that.
Yes!
Not okay with this.
Yes! Watch that. On Netflix. Just came out 2 weeks ago. Yes.
Watch it?
Definitely. Oh, I've watched it.
I know.
I'm all in.
Talking about it yesterday.
Yes. Do it.
But I've noticed that when I come home after work and I'm really exhausted, I don't want to do anything but laugh. And this week, I didn't even really watch anything. I mean, the TV might have been on after you went to bed, but I didn't really watch anything. I just either read or just kind of sat here talking to the kids. I don't know what my deal is, but I'm really, really tired. And I don't want to waste any energy on something that I have to pay attention
Waste energy?
to. Paying attention. So last night you went to bed and I sat here in the dark reading. Aaron came in.
Oh, dark.
Aaron came in. I had a black sweatshirt on, black pants. I had a black cat on my feet, and I'm reading in the
I
dark.
didn't see a thing.
Like,
I thought you went to bed.
no.
Because I was like, what in the world? The only way I knew is because of what's the reflective materials that bikers wear on the vests?
Reflective material.
Okay, it was like that on mommy's leg because the light from the kitchen hit it and it was like, oh, there's a light there.
What's that reflective material called?
Doesn't it have a name?
Reflective material. I'm sure it does.
But it's not commonly known.
Not by me. If you want to follow the Traveling Farrs, you can find us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere that does podcast. at the Traveling Farrs. If you like Instagram and the Twitters, Traveling Farrs, the email address is the travelingfars@gmail.com. And the blog space, the travelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry.
Go to the YouTubes. Like and subscribe.
What's
Hit
in
the bell notification.
Wait a minute. What are you talking
Aaron
about?
is
already
posting-
on the
Oh,
YouTube
oh,
that they're
okay.
watching this.
Aaron is posting
But they might be
videos
listening on the blueberry.
or the iTunes.
The blueberry always comes out first.
Go to YouTube, subscribe, like, hit the bell. Aaron
hit
is
the bell.
posting
Don't hit the
several
bell. Ring the bell.
videos a week. Right?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to do 2 a day until I get caught up with all the old stuff, but I keep making new old stuff, so I kind of don't really ever get caught up. So yeah, I'm trying to do 2 a day until it's just new stuff,
Also,
which is gonna take me years.
also, you don't hit a bell.
You don't hit the bell, you ring
You
the bell.
ring it.
You ring it. You ring the
You
bell.
can ring my
Oh,
bell.
God.
Sorry.
That is. I don't think that's what she meant.
That's what I mean.
All right. I think that's it. That's all.
Bye, folks.
Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people. Hey!
What are you doing, man?
Really? You're not gonna say goodbye to the people?
We can't end without a happy cat.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger my ass.